Bite-Sized and Bossy, rising up the ranks, handing out encouragement, deposits in their banks. Inspiration coming at you like a river flowing. Women paving paths, look at them going. Bite-Sized and Bossy, rising up the ranks, handing out encouragement, deposits in their banks.
Hello and welcome. I'm Erin.
I'm Tammy.
And I'm Chrissy.
And this is
Bite-Sized and Bossy.
Bite-Sized and Bossy. Tammy's losing it.
That might be the worst one we ever did.
Wait, maybe it's me. Can you
I think it might be
guys
you.
even
There was
hear
like
me?
a long pause,
It
but
was like
that's
5
okay.
minutes.
We are Bite-Sized and Bossy. So welcome everyone. We're excited. Today we have an amazing guest, Darden Coors, and we're excited. She's the CEO of Salad Collective. Darden, thank you so much for being here. We're excited to talk with you today.
Oh, thanks so much for having me. You guys are so much fun. Yes.
Well,
Salad Collective. Yeah.
we know a little bit about you, but for those people listening that don't know who you are or where you're from, which I doubt are a ton of people because I feel like a lot of people know you, can you introduce yourself?
Sure. Yes. Darden Coors, and I'm CEO of Salad Collective. We have 3 brands: Mad Greens, Snappy Salads, and Tokyo Joe's. So we're sort of in the healthy, fast casual space. And I've been started with Mad Greens 11 and a half years ago. So I've been running restaurants since that time, and I am part of the Coors family. So that's a question I usually get. So we'll just throw that out there up front. Yeah.
Well, if I could, I'll jump in on that. So I think I met you initially, and forgive my voice, I've been at NRA, so I sound like a man. I think I met you initially, Darden, with Jen Rupert, but when I heard your name, I was like, Darden Coors. That person is meant to be in the F&B
Right.
industry. So where did the name Darden come from? I actually think that's a little more interesting than Coors.
Thank you. Yes, actually, in this industry, that's what I get asked about more than anything else, which is awesome. My mother went to summer camp in North Carolina with Darden Fowler, I think was her name, and she was a very good horseback rider and pretty, and somebody my mom really loved, and so she loved the name. And I'm the youngest of 4, so she used all the family names on my siblings, and got to pick the name she really liked for me.
Well, I hope you really like it because it's really unique, and I think it's pretty cool.
I do now as an adult. Growing up, it was a little bit of a challenge.
Well, so you've been with Salad Collective for 11 years, and we just pulled up your LinkedIn profile, and it just says CEO. So did you start there as CEO? Like, what was your start in the business?
I did. So we bought a majority interest, my family, in 2013. So I stepped into the role of CEO. That was, kind of learned by fire, I think, from a family perspective. Of I worked for my family for a lot of years. I did a 4-year stint at Einstein, so at Einstein Restaurant Group back in the day, and kind of caught the bug there. But I've been a lawyer all of my career, really. I gave tours of the brewery when I was young, and worked at different retail stuff. But most of my career was in-house counsel. So
Wow.
it was a big leap.
Wow.
I'd never been responsible for a P&L or profit or so I learned, but the founders stayed on with us for 3 years, and so they were great teachers, and we built a lot of restaurants during that time. It was a really great learning opportunity, but I had a lot of support. Our CFO was fabulous, and so I got to jump into a pretty great team and go from there.
And you have a lot
All
of
right.
amazing women on your team, right? Like you were telling me about the different women. Like, so you've built an exec team that has a lot of wonderful women. Am I correct?
You are. So we outnumber the men, which is always good. So Jen Rupert, who you mentioned, Jen, she got married, Jen Hanrahan now, and she is my VP of marketing. And she is a dynamo marketing person.
She's awesome. I love her so much. We got to have her on too.
Yes. Preview for what's to come. Wendy Hull, she's my senior VP of HR. And she is a phenomenal HR person, especially for restaurants and team members. And teaching people how to have hard conversations. And I've learned a lot from her in that regard. And then Katie Van Heusen, who's our VP of accounting. And so 3 of my VPs are women, and I have 3 men on our staff. So with me, we outnumber them. Yeah. And from a store level perspective too, I have several district managers that are women. The leader of my Arizona market is 2 women. More than 50% of my GMs are women. So
Wow.
that's
awesome.
Female focused for sure.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, I am going to ask the question that I'm sure everybody's going to be thinking at this point in the podcast. But Darden, how closely, where are you in that Coors family? I'm so curious.
Oh, sure.
Had to know.
It depends on who you know, I guess. So Pete Coors is has been sort of the face of the family, and he's my uncle. So
Oh, wow. So very, very, very close to like the founding fathers of the Coors Corporation.
yes. So
Yeah.
well,
That's awesome.
I'm 5th generation Coors. So
Yeah.
The brewery is 150 plus years old now. We just celebrated that a few years ago.
Wow.
And so there's a lot of us, but yes. So
Are you allowed to drink anything other than Coors?
That's what I wanted to know too.
any line of beer that we sell through Molson Coors. So yes. So I can.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I have a hard time with some that were formerly competitors, but now are under us. But yes, yeah, we have some great products, so it's not hard at all.
Well, I've always been a Coors Light fan.
Yeah.
Always a Coors Light. It's
Well,
a great boat
I
beer.
just got back from NRA. Were you there this year?
I was there this year. Yeah.
Well, walking the trade show floor, one of the things I noticed, because I'm in tech, was the tech pavilion has actually grown, and there was a lot of really cool stuff in that area that I saw. What did you see there, or were there any sessions that you attended? Love to share with the audience, because maybe they didn't get to go.
Sure. I thought it was a great show. I didn't do any of the sessions, and my IT guy went, so he did the tech pavilion stuff. So I focused a little bit more on what kind of food innovation was out there. So we acquired Tokyo Joe's about 2.5 years ago. I spent a lot of time tasting Asian food all over. That was my favorite part of the conference, was all of the ramen. The ramen, I think, was my absolute favorite that I tried. And then bottled beverage, what kind of new beverages were out there. And I did sneak in a churro.
Did you go to any of the fun parties? If anybody out there is listening, me and a couple girls go to the Hershey party every year, and I cannot say that we are invited. So this year we went with little Hershey kisses on our necklaces because we love this party so much, and we just showed up and we like our chocolate bars.
And they let you in. Yeah. Awesome. I need to know where that party is. I love good chocolate. We went to the Menu Masters to celebrate some of those great innovations in food, and shout out to Chili's and their viral response on all of that, which was awesome. And then we were part of the 100 Movers and Shakers this year. So
great.
Yep. I was at that event. I was at that event too. And I was a seat filler, actually. Chrissy and Erin, I got to sit next to Brandon. His wife couldn't come. And so Stacy asked me to go at the last minute. And so I did not, I had actually wore the same dress that I wore to Menu Masters because I had not planned on going at all. And then ended up having to spend the whole time on my phone trying to reschedule my travel home because I had to stay an extra day.
Oh,
yeah.
Jeez.
Well,
Let's talk about home life, family, kids, dogs. What do we have going on, Darden?
So I'm a single, never married mom of a 21-year-old son. He's
wow.
now, and I have a dog she's 13. It's getting rough, but so she's a Portuguese water dog, and she's my second favorite child. So Yeah.
Well, you have then 21, so out of the house,
Yes. So,
gone,
yep. Gone.
fun the coop. That's where Chrissy is too. Chrissy has her last kid off to the races, right? So I think that
Yes.
is absolutely amazing. Darden, what you said, boy, 21?
Boy. Yep. 21.
Yeah.
year old boy.
How was that? Because you've been in legal counsel, an executive, and having a kid at home as a single mom. How was that?
That was a challenge, but it was great. You know, I found myself pregnant and unmarried and not wanting to marry at that time. So that was, you know, hard. You know, the hardest part was sort of telling my family and wondering what would happen. I was working for my family at the time. We were going through a merger that would be the end of my, you know, I'd get laid off in this merger. And so it's a very kind of crazy time, but I totally underestimated everyone and they were amazing and remarkably supportive. But I would say I was a little jealous of some of my friends who got divorced because you had a break every now and then, you know. You know, when it's just
Hold on.
100% you.
Say that louder, because somebody in this group here, one of the three of us that is not me, needs to hear that that the benefits of being divorced are that you have a free babysitter every other weekend.
You do. I was very jealous. So
I want to date divorced guys for this reason.
There you go. It's you know, it was awesome, but it was a lot, you know. You know, he came to work with me a lot. He
Oh, that's cool.
had to be patient through lots of phone calls and conference calls, and you know, he had a series of nannies and babysitters, and I missed some things in life, but we're super tight, and I wouldn't make a different decision today. So I tell you,
Is he going into law too? Is he going to go into law, or what's he doing?
He is. Yes, he fought it his whole life. I don't want to be anything like you, and not, you know, being a lawyer is boring, you know, kind of thing. But it's been great to sort of be a leader, role model for him, and he's in the place where thinking about his life, and law school's on the rise. And he actually had a professor who said, if this is what you want to do with life, you should go to law school. And he told me, I was like, yeah, okay, let's go. Yeah.
Well, I think what was really interesting about what you said there is that, you know, clearly with a name like Coors and the ability to hire nannies, that you still very much have the same experience that every other woman has out there in wanting to spend more time with your kid and having to bring them to work. And that is super challenging. So I think that those are the types of things that we should call out on this show, right? That it doesn't really matter where you are in your station in life, that you're still the caretaker. You have a child, and you know, I don't know all the circumstances. We don't need to get into that here, but that you had to take them to work and make that work for you and your family.
Yes. No. And I think there's a lot of women who have bigger challenges for sure, but we're here to support each other. I have one of my GMs is a single mom, never married, and kind of just to share her journey with her. You know, it kind of I don't know, it just makes it all more real and relatable, and I feel like I can be a better boss, having gone through some of those struggles, and like really I do know how that is. I had a position where maybe I could afford some care that's not available everywhere, but you know, but my child still resents, you know, shouldn't resent. Like I said, we're close, we're tight. He's over some things, but you know, he definitely missed his mom, and you know, I lost him once at work, which was awful.
Wait, like in the brewery or like at a salad place? Where were we losing him?
I was working at Einstein's. We had moved to this new building. We had the entire floor. It was like 250 people, and he was at my desk, and it was a Saturday, and he disappeared. And I don't know how long he was gone, but there's 250 cubicles, desks to look under.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm running all over trying to find him, and I was so mad that he was playing with me. Anyway, he had gotten on the elevator, and it was one of the buildings where you needed a badge to get up. And so after a frantic, I don't know how long of searching for him, I finally got in the elevator. I went down, and there's this woman standing in the lobby, holding his hand with her hand on her hip, like, what is wrong with you? And I just wanted some grace from her in that moment, but it happens to all of us. Yes.
It says we need like human air tags.
Yes.
I'm the type of person that if I have a couple drinks, put an air tag on me because I'm going on an adventure to make a new friend. So I'd be right there with your son.
Yes.
Been there, that's true.
He found a friend, which was nice. It was very nice of her to stay with him until I got there. But that's one of the drawbacks of bringing your child to work when they're 3.
So when you're hiring your team, it sounds like you have a lot of female executives. Are you particularly looking for that, or are there qualities that you look for in men that you might hire that are going to be better suited to work with a female crew?
That is a great question. I don't have any kind of official policy on it, or I think when we go looking, we want the best candidate.
Mm-hmm.
But we're kind of a family, so culture is super important to us. Another awesome lady taught me about that and how important that is. So I probably gravitate more towards the women because they fit our culture a lot better. Culture is sort of that gating thing. If you don't have it, you don't belong, and this isn't for you. So as I build my team, that's probably the top criteria, and often women hit it. Yeah.
So how do you build a culture though? Like I'll share, I'm in a startup now. And, when I think about the folks that we hire, we have a no jerk policy, and we want to hire people specifically that have worked in the industry to come essentially to the other side so that they understand and can better communicate with our clients. And that's kind of our way of creating culture. So how do you do that with your team? Or what are the elements of your culture, and how are you building that?
We used to be pretty relaxed about it because it was we have a great culture. It just is what it is. It's hard to define. But I connect with Ray Phillips Luther, Rachel.
Yeah.
And, she's amazing. And she really emphasized how important it was to write it down, and so you can celebrate it and you can all talk the same language. So, as you grow into other states, or, as we look to franchising, how do we really make the most of that and make sure that we can measure our culture in a real way? And so I brought her in, and she helped us kind of from the ground up. What is our culture today? And then fortunately, it was what we wanted it to be from the ground up. So then we didn't have to tweak too much, but really putting words around it and being intentional, building that into our brand book, building that into our, our handbook. It becomes part of our training. It becomes how we evaluate managers on, yes, the numbers. Yes, how to prep everything, but are you a leader of people, and do you embrace our culture, and can you say it and repeat it and train it? And so I would say the biggest way to advance in our company is to develop people, and a huge piece of that is developing culture.
I love
That's
that.
awesome. Yeah. I would love to hear what you would consider your challenges jumping from the corporate world and being in-house legal counsel to now you're the CEO of, these 3 brands, which I'm always a huge fan of, healthy, fast casual. I don't think that there's enough of them. There definitely isn't enough where I live, sadly. I would love to have one of your salad concepts in Greenville, South Carolina, because there aren't any. But talk to us a little bit about the challenges coming from your previous world into the restaurant space. I mean, I feel like restaurant tech is very, very nichey. And I know that, there's a lot of people who want to get into it. And I think even going from like the brand side to the tech side, or the tech side to the brand side, can always bring challenges. But somebody coming from like a completely different world like what kept you awake at night? Besides the P&L stuff, of course.
Well, I'm a lawyer, so the people stuff scared me a lot. There's it's conversations, there's risk. That's one of our favorite things around the office. There is risk. And HR was the one area that I worked in my family business for my uncles. And so they didn't really get me involved in HR much. So I didn't have a lot of people site training. So as in-house counsel, you touch every piece of the business. I worked on our public financial statements, and making sure that the disclosures were all right and the risks were all accounted for, along with the accounting team. And I worked with our distributor contracts and our marketing to make sure, we didn't say the wrong things or do a contest wrong. So I feel like I had a little bit of knowledge about everything, but I'd really avoided the people side. And restaurant is all about the people. So
Yes.
that was a steep learning curve for me, but has been one of the more rewarding ones. So it's been awesome.
That's awesome.
That is really great to hear. Because, challenges, it can be scary changing to a completely new
It is.
industry.
Yeah.
My husband just delivered a Coors Light to
Oh,
nice.
we apparently have
Hold on,
plenty
hold on.
here at my
Wait,
house.
Hold on,
Don't
crack
pretend
it
like that's
open.
Weird. That happens.
Okay,
Crack it
every day at
open with
noon.
that salad.
You ready?
Crack it open.
That's
Oh, I
Chrissy's
love that
lunch
sound.
every day.
Cheers.
amazing.
I got my water. Now I'm
Yeah, well, that's what I was drinking too. But
Well, I think, ladies, it's time for some food for thought. Who wants to kick it off, Chrissy or Tammy?
Oh, go for it, Chrissy.
Let's see. Food for thought. So we used to, a little story. We used to think that we could do this as rapid fire, but I think as women we don't really. I think we think about our thoughts a little bit longer before they come out of our mouth. So they always turn into a story. But okay, so you were at NRA this week, Chicagoland. I did not go to NRA first time I set out for the first time in like 10 years, but I love going there because I think Chicago has the best restaurants.
Mhm.
Where did you dine in Chicago while you were there that you just loved?
Well, I didn't have as much time to do that but I did some competitor shopping. So I went to Sweet Green and saw their Infinite Kitchen. So that, and actually it was pretty remarkable and pretty great. And then Just Salad is there now. So I went and saw Just Salad, which I'd been to down in Florida and some other places, but great to see their new locations there. And so we did a little, we've been doing a lot of menu work. So trying to figure out where we're going with our menu and what our competitors are doing and what is healthy today, what are customers wanting. So so I did a great Sweet Green and a great Just Salad.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, good for you. Doing your homework while you were in town.
Yeah,
What's your favorite Coors product?
Coors Light is my favorite. I play tennis and I just like a Coors Light after a hot, sweaty tennis match is awesome.
It sounds like a commercial. I feel like someone walking off
You
the
can
tennis
really
court,
make a commercial out
popping
of
can
that.
open
send
a
them the
Coors
clip.
Light.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's my go-to. But Blue Moon with a little slice of orange in it is
Yes.
second probably favorite.
That's one of my favorites too.
Well,
I
let's
love a good
see.
blue-
I guess it's my turn, and I usually ask, what is your favorite restaurant that isn't yours? That's like my go-to question.
Yeah.
We have a restaurant here called Abruzzi's, which is one of my favorites. It's just a local independent restaurant, Italian. And I actually got a text today from the 100-year-old grandmother of whose last name is Abruzzi's, from Long Island. She turned 100, and she actually said, somebody asked her how she keeps how if she indulges in any adult beverages, and he's like, Coors Light. I was like, oh, that's amazing. But they do a really great job with Italian food, and they also do everything. You can get everything gluten free. So if it's like truly gluten free, you can be a celiac and eat there. And they have bread and pasta and pizza, and I have a lot of people in family or friends who are gluten free, and it's one of my favorite places to go because we can all just have a fantastic, amazing meal.
Yeah,
and now all I can picture is like this little elderly Italian woman sitting down after a long day in a kitchen and popping over a Coors Light. Like we're just commercial after commercial going through my head. That's amazing.
Yeah,
well, our last question we always ask is because you've been wonderful, but we continue to do this every week. And if you could listen to one inspirational woman, who would you nominate, or women, to come on the podcast next?
So, I don't know if you've done Ray Phillips Luther, but she would be amazing. So she would be somebody I would love to hear from. And shout out to her. She's awesome. And then my team, I think Wendy Hull, who's my HR person, if you ever want to talk people and stories, we've been through a lot together, and she's one of the best HR people I could imagine working with. I shouldn't say that. Nobody hire her away from me.
Yeah, hold on. She's terrible. We heard really bad things about her. I also think she just got a raise. So
she's going to like this podcast.
Yeah, we need to tag her. I don't think she'll need to come on.
I'm in trouble.
So great.
And you said Jen Rupert Hanrahan is dynamo. So
I didn't know that she got married, though. I didn't know she changed her name. I'll have to update that.
Yeah.
Well, we loved having you. Thank you so much for coming on. This is Bite-Sized and Bossy. You can follow us, watch us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple. Listen, like, subscribe, share, click, double click, whatever you have to do to share your love with us. We'd like to see it on the internet. And with that, thank you for joining us today. Thank you, Darden. We appreciated having you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, yeah. Cheers. Well, I got water this time.
It's actually quite refreshing.
Bite-Sized and Bossy, rising up the ranks, handing out encouragement, deposits in their banks. Inspiration coming at you like a river flowing. Women paving paths, got them going.